So it is a Transformer Thursday today, and we have a lot to cover, so expect multiple segments today from the Transformer Slag podcast. Big reveals, big pre-orders, a lot of stuff is dropping on Hasbro Pulse right now as you're hearing my voice. So go right away and check those out. So let's jump into it and make sense like we always do here on the podcast. All the deep cuts, the design history, and the everything that's going on. That's why you guys come here to listen to me, and let's jump into it. We're going to start with the Transformers Legacy United Core Class line, and we have the next member of the Infernac universe in that of Geocron. Very interesting choice of names with that one. He is a retool and a mild partial of the Core Class Boulder Crash we got before that. What's unique about this one, aside from the new paint deco, is that it has a new head that is 100% an homage to that Japanese G1 Headmasters episode, episode number 32, My Friend Six Shot, where they had these rock monsters that were attacking Daniel and Six Shot, and Evan Brooks sculpted this perfect head sculpt that matches that rock monster and everything. Fantastic. Clearly the winner of these two molds, in my personal opinion, just from the history alone. So that's pretty cool. If you have a choice between these two, Geocron probably will be the more interesting of the bunch. I wonder what Mark has to say about with the Cron part at the end, because that has some other implications when it comes to Transformer history. So very interesting indeed. Keep an eye out for that one. Definitely going to want to pick that one up. Next up, we have the tale of two Galvatrons in a single wave. It's the first time in Transformers history that we get two of the same trademark in the same wave, in the same subline. Very interesting. Never seen that done before. Normally we have to wait for that kind of stuff, but you know how Megatrons turn into Galvatrons, so it was bound to happen. And we got one that's bound to happen here. Transformers Core Class Energon Galvatron, a repaint of our Energon Megatron that we got a few waves before that in United. This is an Evan Brooks design, and the colors that they're going for is not that of the original Energon toy, not that of the Japanese Super Link toy, although a little bit of the spirit of it is there, but it's more true to that of the animation model that was in the Super Link or Energon cartoon. It has the silver crown, and more leaning on that animation model. It has the yellow shoulder cannons instead of the more orangey kind. A straight up repaint, but otherwise a fun update to the pocket Galvatron that you could put in your collection. And like I said, it's a tale of two Galvatrons, because we also have the Transformers Legacy United Leader Class Armada Galvatron, a straight-up repaint of our Transformers Legacy Evolution Armada Megatron, a beautiful Aaron Archer design if there ever was one. Nothing added with this time around, no new tooling or anything, but at least now we got some nice HD images of the coloring of the figure as well as how the alt mode looks. We've been relying on that tidal wave, grainy, robot mode box image up to this point, so now we have the coloring of everything, and we're definitely seeing that they didn't go with the original Armada figure coloring. They didn't go with the original Japanese Micron coloring. They went really hard into the anime colors of this character, and it looks really good. They really nailed it, I'll tell you that. Oddly, on the box, they don't show the cross-sell of the combining with Tidal Wave, which I find very bizarre. That's probably something they should have done as a marketing ploy, but it is what it is. So I guess we'll have to wait for some official images from the Hasbro Pulse crew in order to see how that looks on the figure itself. Last thing we're going to be covering this segment, and we're finally getting our very first look of the final comic edition of our 2024 releases of these. And it's the Transformers Generations Comic Edition Emirate Xaaron and Autobot Flame. This is fantastic because these are characters that never got toys. And that's something I always preach. You know, we could have hundreds of these guys, but let's get like at least one of these. Emirate Xaaron was a early UK exclusive character. Didn't really make his US comic debut until like the last 20 issues of the US G1 book, when Simon Furman pretty much got the pen of the US books and he added Xaaron into them. Xaaron is a super extensive retool of the Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Deluxe Class Refractor, aka Reflector. He has a new head, new chest, new lower legs, which leads to a very unique and brand new alt mode. Looks amazing. Xaaron never really had an alt mode shown in the comics due to him not being able to transform because he had not transformed for so long that if he did transform, it might kill him. So I guess he's the first in-fiction example of gold plastic syndrome, maybe? The first Transformer to suffer from GPS in fiction, maybe. I guess. But it's really cool to finally see an alt mode. He looks fantastic, and, you know, it's great for an old head like me in the fandom to finally get a figure of him. You know, you get 500 Optimuses, 500 Megatrons, 500 Prowls, Bumblebees, Mirages, Starscream, Soundwaves. It's just nice to get one, finally, of these kind of characters that at least were featured in quite a few important issues. And, man, I'm just happy to have him, and that's great. This is going to be a day one pre-order. But we're not done yet, because we got one other guy in this set, too, because it's a 2-pack. We get another long overdue character, finally getting a figure, and it's the mad scientist of Autobot Flame. And he's going to be a Voyager class. Not only do we get a Voyager class of him, but this is one of those Autobots that are not a good guy. UK exclusive character created by Simon Furman. And, man, I am super stoked about this one. Not just because he looks like Hot Rod, because the history with him. He's a retool partial of the Studio Series Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Voyager class Megatron. Has a brand new head on him, new chest, new crotch, new upper thighs, and is a great example of bringing one of those long-lost old G1 characters that never had toys from the pages of the UK G1 books and bringing that to life. It's amazing how well the Megatron Cybertronian tank mode in the video game design works for the alt mode of Flames. I guess we'll call it the fire tank because he was like a flamethrower tank. Looks fantastic. Love how this turned out. It looks amazing. Another must-have for me. It's definitely going to fill out that display of characters that have been long overdue and but just been missing from your shelf. And this has been long overdue for almost 40 years, so that's fantastic. All of this packaged inside a box featuring the beautiful cover art of Jerry Parrish, the UK issue number 168, I believe it was, which has like Flame crushing the Autobots and everything. Really great stuff. Super hyped about this. All of these that we talked about are going up for pre-order right now as we speak on Hasbro Pulse. So get them while you can before they sell out. It's going to be pretty crazy. We have more segments coming later today, so stay tuned here on the Transformer Slag podcast. We got Voyagers to cover from Legacy United, as well as the other big leader class reveal. And we have to compare and talk about the past and which is the best version of that. So stay tuned here on the Transformer Slag podcast. And as always, thank you for listening.